And our next session is what India reveals about the future of online travel. And I'm very impressed. You know, this is my first visit to OTM, and I'm very impressed with how much online travel is being grasped here in India. It's fantastic. Very go ahead. And we're going to talk more about this. And let me just welcome up the moderator for the session. So, ladies and gentlemen, Seth, come on up. Oh, Seth won't come on up because he's busy getting mic'd up. Seth, come on up. Let's welcome Seth, everybody. He's director of Lonely Planet India. Let's say hello to him. Seth? Come and introduce your panel. Thank you.
Yeah. Good morning, and I'm happy to be here. I'm going to invite my co-panelists for this session. Ritu Merotra, Country Manager, India, Sri Lanka and Maldives for Booking.com.
Okay, very good. Okay, I understand.
Boris Za, CEO, Happy Easy Go.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Boris?
Okay. I will start next.
And Peter Yoshihara from Trip.com, Japan.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Sit wherever you like.
Okay.
You want to sit here?
Okay, great.
All settled? Right. This topic is about, the future of online travel. Very interesting subject. I think the previous speaker was also talking about how online travel is going ahead. So we will try and ask a few interesting questions in order for us to get some insights from the users and the platform people. So I would rather begin by, reading something which most people would miss, is that if you look at the ministry website, particularly when it talks about the OTT, it says the aims and objectives of the scheme of approval of online travel aggregators are to encourage quality standards and services in this category so as to promote tourism in India and abroad. So it's a very interesting line that the ministry says. So it says clearly tourism. I just ought to leave that thought with the audience. The sector has been pretty fast moving, all of us know that. And I think the biggest story of 2019 for online travel was when Airbnb exceeded Expedia in booking nights. And there was a lot of media about it. I think a lot of people didn't know about it. So I thought it was a milestone that it's worth mentioning in this forum. Technology, I would say, continued to reshape the booking trips, the customer habits, as well as expectations related to travel. That's something that has completely increased in terms of the customer expectation when it comes to technology. New industry players are coming, as we saw a few minutes ago, and a lot of travel is impacted by technology. When I say impact, I'm not using in the negative connotation, I'm saying impact more positively as well. So, the last line before I sort of raising the questions, Gartner's top 10 strategic technology trends talks about how these changes will impact the world and the business. Human augmentation is likely to be the drive, and significant disruption will bring in more opportunity for the stakeholders. So I've got 3 questions, so I'll raise the 3 questions and then we can go around looking at the opportunity to get those answers. So we talk about technology, but what we need to hear from them is how these technologies will affect people, customers, employees, homes, offices, car, everybody has, right? How travel per se is going to affect those technologies. Also, one of the things I noticed, for instance, we are all here, more information, does it make it easier to decide? A good example is the travel industry. Information out, we talk about information overload across genres, but here we are talking about travel industry. Does more information means better experience? Also, how does the industry transform by becoming customer's travel agent? Obviously there is no human interaction or a human face to this conversation. So, how does the travel OT becomes customer's travel agent? So, do you want to go first?
Sure. So if you look at the travel industry over the last few years, it's gone through a transformation, and I think we will see similar kind of transformation going forward as well. I'll give example. You mentioned about bots, and you spoke about that we're entering into an era where you may not have human interaction. But also human behavior is changing. We want instant gratification. If I have a question, I want the answer now, right? And so when Booking.com launched a chatbot, and today 60% of our queries in English get answered by bots, which has a direct correlation with the satisfaction levels that we see of users. So that's one way of looking at it, that how technology is changing. The other we're seeing is voice. Today, more than convenience also is about time, right? And I spoke about instant gratification. Is there a possibility for me to use lesser time and get the similar information? Obviously. So we're seeing more and more voice commands and search via voice and so on will obviously shape the way we search today. Third, and from my perspective, is that the way travel is today, there's a lot of friction around. Starting from booking the flight, to getting the hotel, to, of course, there are platforms where we could book all the things in one go, but then you still have to manage those tickets when you walk into a hotel, and I was in a hotel yesterday. The whole idea of going to a check-in, waiting there for some time, going to a room, it's still a lot of friction. So how can we solve for these, I think would be game-changing as the next step or the future that we're looking at.
All right, okay. Sir.
Okay. Okay. For my opinion, it's just similar with the lady. Yeah. I think maybe for our online trade, actually this is for the descent from the US and China or other countries descent. So we can find out how to provide more experience and how convenience and more good experience, and how to let them to compare the price very easily, and from the offline and to online, from the Chinese experience is for the price. And you can compare the price very easily online and save your time. So this is, I think, a treat, and now the basic is the mobile internet. The mobile internet we can do anything, many things online and easily when you're on the way, when you're in the metro or other traffics. At that time, you can do something more than before. So this is, I think, in India is a good chance and to do that. So I suggest more and more travel agencies, traditional travel agencies, can consider which kind of the business will be go online. That maybe they can help them business to get a good take advantage of the good chance to grow. This is my suggestion. And also the behaviors of the customers also changed already. But more and more customers will choose the online channel, because online channel maybe the price is cheaper than before. The offline channels, and the cost, for the travel agency's cost, sales cost will be safe. So we can do the win-win game. No need to only follow the traditional channels. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Before I begin, I think many of you don't know Trip.com, but we are actually Ctrip. We named ourselves at Trip.com last year. So obviously, we are the second biggest OTA by market cap in the world. So basically, we are a technology company. We are, an app that can do all travel within your fingertips. However, our DNA is actually customer service. So we have about 38,000 employees worldwide, but more than half actually works for customer service center. That's because it is important. While technology is seamless, fast, and it's applicable, in the end, you need a human touch. So especially in the situation right now with the coronavirus, people are asking for refunds. People are asking to change of plans. So we have these people that actually are contacted, and whether it be refund or whatever. And that really is something that we really believe is something that no matter how big you are, you need to have a proper level of customer service. And so this is in China. Where I come from, we have a customer service center in Japan, in the heart of Tokyo, in Korea, Edinburgh. And this will continue because as our Trip.com ambition expands, we need more customer service. So while technology is important, I believe customer service will be as important.
Okay, so you talked about friction, so also talked about bot, not a human interface. I'm just stepping back for a moment and saying, if you look at a typical Indian human behavior analysis and compare it elsewhere in the world, now if you go and buy a lock, everybody goes, pays the money, gets the lock, gets into the car and goes. But in India, you don't buy a lock like that. You go buy a lock, take it out, turn it right, turn it left, just check whether it works. Or if you talk about a tube light, the shopkeeper will actually put it there and show it to you saying, see, it's working, right? So when the element of, what shall I say, the convincing factor, the proof of the pudding is in eating it right there, this kind of a situation, what do you see are the frictions that are appearing consistently, and what do you think are the solutions being thought of? I mean, I'm not saying everything is solved, but obviously there is friction and automatically there is some solution. What are a few friction things that come up constantly in this domain?
Sure, and first thing that Peter spoke about is customer service. When you go out to travel, issues will happen. How quickly can you solve them and how efficiently can you solve them is very, very important. And at Booking.com, a lot of people know that we are a pay-at-hotel model. So a lot of friction gets solved there that, hey, if I have to cancel for some reason, I can still do it. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that when you have trouble, yeah, you may have bots that may answer your questions very quickly, but it's equally important to have a team. And as you rightly said, that Indians, they also want to talk to people. So being able to communicate in the local language in the way you would expect, I think it's paramount. So that's one. Second thing is that, is there a way, and I think Boris also mentioned about that when he was talking his earlier presentation, if I open the app today and if I'm trying to go from Delhi to Bombay, I will be shown 30 different options. And then I can get lost with what I want to do. Can technology or AI help to figure out my demand, my pattern, and just show me those 4 items that I would most likely book? And based on that, shows me option. We live in the world and era where information is so much that we can totally get drowned in all that information. So I think that would be the next step, that today, I think we came some way to make sure that information is accessible by multiple carriers. But I think going forward, how can we simplify it will be extremely important from our standpoint.
Well, that's the question I was asking, right? That how do you become a personalized travel agent in terms of customer? Because as you said, too many things pop up. I really don't know which one to pick. And also in this world of fake news, I'm not sure which is real, which is unreal. So those are my questions, if you want to take that.
Yeah, I can. Maybe on this stage, Happy Easy Go, we have a solution not only for our consumer side, but also for our vendor side. So many offline travel agencies they have a very small company, so they have no ability to pay the salary to the IT team. I mean the R&D team. So for this part, and the IT team now their salary is very high. So Happy EasyGo provided a system to let them to use and easily to connect to the online business. So that's Happy EasyGo provided now. I think Booking.com and Trip.com also provide the same solution. Yeah. So this is our OTA can do this time. And actually, we also need to teach them. And in Indian market now, for the offline travel agencies, they are in their mind, they cannot think the online business is very important. But I need to mention again and again, this is very important. Maybe this is your lifeline in the future. If you not to accept it, maybe your business will going down. So this is a very important thing. This is why we are here to mention everyone to know what is the future and what is the trade in India. And also, if you don't have any talking technology, I suggest you can to start with very low cost, two choices. One, to join Happy EasyGo to be a vendor, or you can to outsourcing some technology to the third-party solution, the companies. But Happy EasyGo private the technology for free, no charge. Maybe third-party solution companies, they will charge you. Yes. So this is two ways you can go. Yeah.
Your views?
So I think Ritu is right that we are still far from personalization. For example, I go to Shanghai every month. I mean, I won't be going for another 2 months at least. But I have my favorite airline. I have my favorite hotel. But our app is still not intelligent enough that say, hey, Peter, your favorite airline is really cheap now, or the hotel that you always stay, the price is the lowest, you should book now. We haven't come to that stage yet. However, in our app, we do try to be trying to provide a comprehensive, stuff. For example, they know I'll be traveling, so after I book my flight, they say, how about your airport transfer? Because you need an airport transfer. Or how about a rental Wi-Fi? So they're slowly trying to ensure that your travel from home to your travel destination back home is as smooth as possible. So we are in the process of that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So as you can see, OTM is a classic example of how human interaction is so important in terms of driving businesses. Also, you will see a lot of independent DMC people who are trying to get customers and sell across. So you mentioned earlier saying that these people have to make a decision on what should be online and what need not be online.
No.
Any thoughts?
Not this meaning. I mean, they can keep their traditional business and try to do online business. I mean that. No need to shift at all. But this is a treat. You no need to give up your existing business there. You can keep there. I mean, you can to give some budget to try to do some online business, and maybe the return, I think, you will think this is a trade, and you will return more than your invest.
Okay. Do you want to comment on that? About
No, I think it's very similar because our model is slightly different than what Happy EasyGo's model is. We are a B2C platform, and so today, if I was to look at what our inventory size is, we have about 70,000 properties. So in terms of listings, it comes to be around 900,000. And so it's a slightly different model from theirs.
Yeah, I know, yes.
all right. So
Can I mention?
please.
Yeah, so I have an interesting, this is about China. But in China, obviously we're the biggest player. However, in second tier cities, no matter how big you are, your mobile penetration or the adaptability of travel app is not there. So what we do in China is that in second tier cities, we have actual retail stores where people can come and book. And that's where you need the human touch. I'm not saying that's necessary in India, but that is one way of trying to penetrate into second-tier cities where maybe you're not getting the results that you want.
Yeah, I mean, that's a classic example of people who travel. You can see that, Ola now even have a desk when you arrive at the airport, and you don't actually use your app first. You just go to the desk and ask for your Ola,
Right.
and then it tells you which car or where it is. So there is a bit of a human interaction. What I was going to say was a big brand came to us and said that we want to shut down our call center and we want to be completely online and we want to save some money. And a year later, I went to them and said, were you able to sell your call center and what's going on? And they said, no, we have increased the number of people in the call center. Because
Not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
because every time somebody tried to do something and they called up and said, no, my credit card is stuck, or I'm not able to access the website. So it's, in a way, I would say it's an interesting mix of things, right?
See, the key is we're in the business to serve our customers. What are you going to do to save costs if you are not able to serve the customers, right?
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, so the point I was trying to make here was that even though we are saying online, everything is online, but I think at least in India I see that the call center is so important to support the online, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so the other one I want to ask about from your experience is because, all right, we are moving away from a call center scenario to a bot scenario, which is fine, but all of us have this experience of talking to a call center where there is a structure by which they will answer your question, and if you, in the middle, stop them and ask a different question, they'll go back to the original and say A, B, C, D again, because they have got probably a monitor in front of them and they're calling out, right? I have the same experience when I deal with bots, and there are structured questions the bot has already been told to answer, and if you ask a question which is completely not in the database, bot gives up, right? And it takes quite a while for a customer service person to come online and say, hi Sesh, you've been appointed by so-and-so, she or he will talk to you now. I mean, can you just tell us about how this technology works so that people know what they're dealing with?
I can. So it's not a perfect world yet, and it's a journey in my mind, right? So if I was to look at the time taken to answer a query today versus what it was a year ago or 18 months ago, it's gone down. And about 60 to 70% of the questions are very similar. It's predictable. And those are the kind of things you can have machine to help you with. And as I said, it improves satisfaction levels also because people don't have time to wait, as you rightly said, on the call center, which was, I think, totally sad, and I have gone through those situations as well. So I think that's where machine comes into play. Now that you're able to take care of 60, 70% of questions, what it does is it leaves time for your call center people to answer questions quicker, faster, with better responses. So I think we're going to live in a world where human and technology are going to work hand in hand, and every company will find its own balance that, how much and where do you need human intervention, and where will a machine come in and play for you. So I think we're on that road, and even for partners, right? So one is the user side of things, even for partners. So we have a local team who works with the partners. We have an app for partners that will tell you, is your price competitive enough? Should you change your price? Or what does the competition look like when it comes to their pricing strategy? So we give a lot of analytics and intelligence to our partners. At the same time, there are times when they want to talk to our people. So I think, again, it's a balance, and we all have to find ours as we go forward.
See, the reason I raised this question is because from the customer's perspective, most of them think they're asking a unique question. But really what happens is that, as you said, 60% of the questions are not unique. They are pretty much standard questions that other people also ask, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was important for us to sort of sensitize that fact that these are not unique questions, but they are questions which comes elsewhere. Yes.
Yeah, actually, I agree with Ritu. For my mind, our offline business need to be shifted online, and the same. Our customer service need to shift to online. But especially many benefits Ritu have already mentioned, and I want to add on something more, especially for many airlines, the flights delay. At that time, maybe call center cannot answer the calls immediately. At that time, maybe machine can. So our Happy Easy Go also use the most of the cases, I mean the customer service by machine also. But I know the Booking.com, their technology, I mean the AI is very good now, and I know around half of your customer service is from machine, right? I know, to let the machine to answer the calls. No need human beings. This is in the past. So in the future, Happy Easy Go will do the same strategy for the customer service. Only we know what is the real requirements from the consumers. What is they want to know or get immediately. It is to resolve their issues, not human beings to answer your call, right? So if we can resolve the issue immediately for our consumers, they can satisfy the with for Happy Easy Go, not a human being to answer you, or not a machine to answer the question, right? Actually, I want to reschedule or refund my tickets in 1 minute, not a customer care guy to answer the call. So our Happy Easy Go use the machine learning, I mean the AI system, to know, as Ritu said, what kind of questions is a frequency asked, and the answers are stated already. This is the English is enough, can be studied to answer the question. So this our Happy Easy Go do that also. And at the same time, we will use multiple channels to reply the answer. For example, mails, SMS, to let our customers to get their answer, their real requirements very easily and quickly.
You want to add something to that?
Yeah, so basically, same thing, but I just want to add that while, chatbot is something helpful, it's only an assistant, right? Basically, it assists your inquiries. In the end, you need the human, the customer service to actually do the refund and cancellation, whatever. But at the same time, at Trip.com, we are doing this, we're trying to make sure that everything is done on the app. For example, if you can cancel your hotel, or you can change your itinerary on your app, that is where we're trying to put more effort, because in the end, if you make it very, very easy on the app to ensure that the customer service is not contacted is one of our goals.
Okay, so this is one question which I thought I wouldn't ask, but I think increasingly there is pressure on me to ask this question, right? So Government of India apparently is going to come up with very soon, or maybe the already notification is coming across on predatory pricing. Okay, and they're now pretty much going to bring in some kind of a law to control it. So there is a belief, two thoughts, right? There is one thought which says portals like these has actually encouraged surge pricing, whereby the consumer is actually paying more, but the consumer thinks that because they're online, they're getting a discount or something like that, right? But the surge pricing seems to have pushed prices much higher than what the consumer thinks, right? So what is the dilemma here? On the one side, everybody thinks it's predatory pricing. On the other side, there seems to be a surge pricing. So what's going on?
So there is a key difference between a predatory pricing and a surge pricing in my mind. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Okay, all right. So predatory pricing is where the e-commerce company, which could be anybody, either OTA or anybody, is actually discounting the prices of the property either without the information to the hotel partners or otherwise, purely to capture market share, right?
I think that's an important point you've got to reinstate.
Yes.
That the prices are offered either with the knowledge or
Or
without the knowledge. Yes, okay.
And good thing is that Booking.com, the pricing is set by the partners. So which in most developed countries, Western Europe or US, it is not allowed. And I'm very, very happy that government is really thinking on those lines, because it has to be a level playing field for all. And it should not happen that just because one company wants to spend more money by offering discounts, you're losing money, and it has tax implications and a lot of things. I will not go into details of that. So I think predatory pricing, I feel, it's my personal opinion, it does not really help. On the other side, surge pricing is something which could actually help both users and partners. And to give you a sense, I know there are a lot of on-demand ride-hailing services would use that. If it's raining in Mumbai, there are not enough cars, and that time I have limited inventory. Instead of saying that, hey, I won't be able to serve you, well, I have a service at a slightly higher price. Are you going to take it? I think it works both for partners and users in that perspective. So I think predatory pricing, as I said, is very different. But surge pricing, instead of not giving a service versus making sure that both interests are met, I think it should be okay, as long as it's with the knowledge of partners and users. As long as the user knows that the surge pricing is going to be 1.2x or whatever that number is, and partner knows that, hey, if I drive in this weather, I will actually get compensated better for that. So that's my view on that.
No, I'm glad. The reason I raised it is because, you can see the price of cinema tickets have now become very surge price tickets, right? If you took a morning show on a Sunday, or if you took an evening show on a Sunday, the kind of prices that you pay is completely different,
because
right?
Everybody wants those flights.
Exactly, yeah. Any comments on that?
Yeah. So you can see for the pricing. Pricing, I think maybe this is you may be changing your mind. In the world, every country, all the persons, they are price sensitive, not only in India. Why? You can see why Amazon and Walmart, they can to be the successful business because of the pricing. Walmart, you all know, you see to the stores not in downtown, right? You need to drive a long time for 1 hour or over, and then to get lower price there. And Amazon, when they can do their business, why Alibaba do the lower price, do the good the business there? Because of the cheap price. Not the cheapest, is the cheap price. Maybe compare them, their existing the stores they compared. So I think pricing always is a very important thing for choose. Not only in OTA, not only in travel industry, it actually is in for the every transaction, in e-commerce also, commerce also. So this is my the thinking, and also the service and experience also I think need to keep balance. Actually, if you can provide the lowest price, you cannot to provide the best service there. For example, Walmart. If the experience should not be good because I need to drive my car approx 1 hour, right? This customer the experience is not good. But you need to know deep understanding what time and in which country, which one is more important, and how can we do which strategy. Not the same, not the same is a different timing. You need to shift or switch your business model and strategy frequency. This is is a step to test, step to win. And that's why our Happy Easy Go, we are very close to our consumers' side, and always we will more and more close to our vendors' travel agent side. We want to know what's the key point, key question they want to resolve. For example, here I know most of yours are travel agencies, maybe our industry partners. So we want to know what you want to get, or what can help you to grow your business. To let you, one word is how to earn money easily. how to earn money quickly. This is our travel agencies want to do.
Okay.
This also our Happy Easy goers want to do, because we want to help you to earn money, and at the same time, our Happy Easy Go will earn money at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's why the travel agencies first, the customer first, and the last for Happy Easy Go only. We need to, based on your money, based on your good experience, to be happy, be certified on Happy Easy Go, then we can earn the money. Before that, we will burn money.
Okay, okay. I mean, I think it's a good point to say that we have to constantly innovate, and one of the recent examples that people would have seen of innovation is that, you know, McDonald's came only with aloo tikki instead of the real burger that elsewhere they sell, and it's taken them almost what, 15 years now to produce a masala dosa burger with a rasam sauce, which is they have announced last about a month ago, I think.
Yeah.
So they realized that they were missing out on some portion of the market, and it has taken them quite a while to innovate in terms of, so all of us have to innovate. One last question before I take it to the floor for asking any questions if they have. If I sort of said to three of you and said, dream a bit, I dream a lot, and say, if you had to say one thing that is likely to happen in this platform 5 years from now, what would that one be? Starting from you and
Me? Wait. So
you're dreaming.
If I'm dreaming, okay, it would be, okay, it would be something like where, because like everybody has a set budget. I have a set budget with my family, and I'm sure everybody does. What if you know what your budget is for this year? And what if your app automatically calculates, okay, you want to go to these destinations, this is your airfare and hotel, your package, whatever, your tours and whatever. If you can somehow tell me or suggest within your budget, these are the 3 tips you will take this year, and it's ready, and would you like it, book it now, will be my dream. You know,
Absolutely.
I'm sure you do it. I argue with my wife where we want to go, how long we want to stay, but our budget is this small, we want to stay at 5-star. That's a constant conversation you're having, and it takes a lot more time than you want to. So maybe something where there's more intelligent way of somehow have a plan already ready for you and say present it to you might be something that
I think it's a brilliant one. I mean, I'm hoping that will happen, because if people can have 25 choices thrown at them saying, for this budget you could do these 25 things, it gives them the wider variety and wider choice in terms of travel.
Yeah, because there might be similar beach destinations, one in Bali, one in Hawaii. Maybe Bali gives me a better value, right? Why go to Hawaii? So again, similar destinations but cheaper option. I was like, that might be
So
my dream.
don't stop the dream.
Yeah.
Your dream?
Yeah.
Well, we're looking, I think, a truly connected trip. When I mean that one day when I'm really seamlessly able to think, I'm a family of 4, and I should be able to book a ticket, and as soon as I do my air tickets, I get, hey, here is the 4-seater car, cheapest price available is this one, or the next upgrade is this much. Between the two, I choose the second one. These are the 5 hotel options. Between a villa or a hotel, I just pick one, and I get shown 2 options. And so a truly connected trip where I don't have to keep my boarding pass separately and my accommodation stuff separately, and I can really truly integrate all of that in one app at one go at one time. That is something I would want to do.
Yeah, I would say part of it is happening, because I think currently the Indian Railways, you can actually order your car at your destination, and also you can order your food in the middle of the station where you want your food to be served. So it's a bit of, it's already happening now, right?
And especially with Indian Railways,
and the food guy is actually tracking the train whether it is coming on time or not, so that you get your food absolutely hot.
Yeah.
Your dream?
Yeah, because I'm in travel industry, so price for me is very important. So I know what's back end to how to provide these products. One-stop shop maybe for the very normal customers is very important, but for me, the price is very important.
Okay.
So I will compare all of the most of the main players in that country, and I know what kind of the website will provide the lowest price. I will choose because I know like the air tickets and hotel booking, the pricing is most important. Every website and OTA or meta search will provide the same products.
Okay.
Yeah, so I will choose the lowest price.
Okay, as long as you promise that you'll keep the green
I
button
can.
under control.
Yes. yeah.
All right, to the floor to questions, please raise your hands. Yes, go ahead, sir. Just announce your name and ask the question.
Hi, Mayur from Be Happy Trips, Mumbai. The question is, all online platforms are here. Currently, the holiday packages, I think it is the most income generation kind of a thing. But online platforms generally provide air tickets and hotels. So is there any combination or is there any ratio that you think the main product, which is a holiday package, can be converted into completely online thing? Is that a possibility? First thing, and what is the ratio of online package have been booked if there are any platforms from your sites?
Any one of you?
Well, I can answer for booking.com. So we already have started packages, but not packages that we know traditional form. So the way we are looking at packages is that if, let's say, you're a family of 6, then what are the kind of destinations once you pick it up? Then we will start showing you options that, hey, do you want an all-inclusive meal or no? Would you like to do attractions and sightseeing or no? Or so that you can actually, it's a basket where you can pick and choose things that you need even within the package. So we've already launched this in about 60 global markets. It's a matter of time that will come in India as well. I wouldn't have a sense of whether it's a very big part of our business today, because we are still an accommodation platform and we started flights few months back. But I would say that if there is a need and if that's something that, and it could also differentiate by markets, we will see where that goes.
Okay, so I'm going to take just 2 more questions because I've just been given the yellow card. Before the red card, I want to close the session. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Hi, my name is Ashwat Vyas and I'm from, my company is Amavi. We're based in Hyderabad, India. I have a question for Mr. Boris. You talked about taking business online while keeping the traditional offline business. Can you give us more insights into how to do that?
Yeah. So my suggestion is you can keep the offline travel, the traditional business there only to you think this is can earn money. If you keep lose money business, my suggestion is you should stop it for offline travel agencies. I know many big players I mean in Indian market now is our vendors. They are our vendors. I see the biggest quotas here. They are all our Happy Easy Go vendors already. But I see they have already to stop some offline lose money business already. But you know, from the offline travel agency want to change to online, shift to online, need take time. But you need to know if you really think the online business is for your future business, for the trade, you need to try carefully. Not to say every online you try to do the online business will be successful. You know, the successful will be very few persons will get. But most of the businessmen will be filled. You know, you need to know that. So I hope you can keep some business you can earn money now to keep your company it's very healthy from the cash flow. And at the same time, you can try to step by step to try to do some the online business there. For the I just said for the studied business, I think is more easily to test to online business.
All right.
But maybe online business, the technology is necessary and your team supporting is totally different. You need to ask for others who have already doing the online business there, and you can learn the experience from them. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we are going to be around, so you can continue to ask questions off stage as well as have continued conversations. Thank you, panelists, for your wonderful contribution, and thank you for sitting and listening to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.